What's up, everybody? So Hardy Construction. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, but mostly on YouTube. With yours, Komp and
Simba.
And today's film is...
Mufasa.
What? Did you just not hear me say today's film is?
Oh, Zombieland 2009.
Zombieland 2009. Because Danny, much like a person on Family Feud who chokes at the very end when they ask him a question, he had no time to pick a movie this time, so he's picking up Zombieland just out of sheer...
We've never done it.
Nah, I'm surprised that we've spoken about it here and there. But Zombieland 2009, directed by Ruben Fleischer, a shy student trying to reach his family in Ohio, a gun-toting tough guy trying to find the last Twinkie, and a pair of sisters trying to get to an amusement park join forces to travel across a zombie-filled America. Written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, starring Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson, and that one girl from Little Miss Sunshine.
Abigail Breslin.
Amber Heard was in this movie? And, okay, I remember who she was. And Bill Murray. Oops. Why did you pick Zombieland?
That's the best scene.
2009.
Because we've never reviewed it. And it's like, it's a classic.
Do you really think it's a classic film?
I like it a lot. I know it's not a horror movie, but I like it. It's a feel-good movie.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. The reason why I enjoyed this movie a lot the first time I saw it, it's the first and only time. It's a movie I haven't rewatched. I saw it in an IMAX theater. Because
that opening scene must have been amazing.
It was incredible because I was not expecting for them to have this Metallica song. And even though I'm strictly, there should not be metal with horror films for me because I think it sort of cheapens both. I like metal and I like horror movies, but I think when you use them, it's sort of...
I know what you're saying. It's weird.
It's sort of like I always said this before in past episodes, it just cheapens both of them. For some reason, it seems like, yeah, man, look, fucking blood. Oh, like
it's too easy. It's too easy.
Yeah, like I was surprised that metal music wasn't on. Remember that movie we saw, Chrome Skull? You know, the movie with the guy with the skeleton mask?
Yeah.
Like I expected to be in those like shitty movies, but whatever. Anyway, the movie, how does this movie start out, Danny?
It starts with a wonderful slow motion of people
Even
getting
before that, it's Jesse Eisenberg's character who's explaining the rules of surviving in a zombie apocalypse. And that leads to, it's a fairly graphic horror film. The funny thing about this movie is that this movie was written by those two guys, and they were actually, this was supposed to be a pilot for a series, for a television show. And they could not get anybody to buy the series, so they just compiled the first 4 episodes into a film, which is this movie. And
honestly, I'm happy they did it this way.
Yeah, surprisingly, what ended up happening after this film had good box office to it, they actually could, they were not able to make a sequel at the time. I guess all the stars were getting bigger at the time, and they decided to make actually Zombieland the TV show. They tried to make I don't know if
I actually didn't know that they went for a TV show.
They did. They tried to do it for Amazon Prime right when Amazon Prime was just starting out. Netflix I think was already starting. It's sort of shows with House of Cards and stuff like that with the very famous child butt fucker Kevin Spacey, or tried to, and Amazon Prime came out with The Tick and Zombieland and TV show, and they had a weird sense.
Brought back The Tick.
They had a Tick live action series for 2 seasons on Trivia.
It?
It's new. I tried to watch it. I guess people said it's very good, but I just couldn't get into it for some reason. I like The Tick the cartoon show. I got into that. That was a great show. But I couldn't get into. There was another live action Tick years before that. Apparently, people really. It was with Putty from Seinfeld, but apparently this one just got canceled after the 2nd season. I don't know. It's a very smart writer. The guy Ben Edlund. He wrote a lot for the X-Files. But anyway, Zombieland the TV show. They made a pilot for Amazon Prime. It was very early in Amazon when they weren't throwing that much money behind their shows. Now Amazon shows has The Boys. You know what I mean? Which is very expensive. You haven't seen that yet, have you?
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, you're going to love that show. I hope you'd love it. It's great. But anyway, so it looked really cheap, and obviously it was not fucking Jesse Eisenberg, and it was not Woody Harrelson. Let's say Willie Nelson. It definitely wasn't Willie Nelson. Woody
Harrelson was already huge before Zombieland.
Of course, yeah. But Woody Harrelson was obviously, people knew him from Cheers. Was this before...
He's Mickey.
What's that?
He's Mickey.
Yes, obviously Mickey and Mallory from... what was that movie called?
Natural Born Killers.
I'm surprised we haven't done that movie. And then also,
what a great movie. Well, I suggested it once, and you said it's not
did
horror.
I poo-poo? Yeah, I guess we can do it. Whatever, who cares? But and then also, I don't know if this was before. This must have been before that show he did with True Detective. I think it was right before it. I'm not sure. Anyway, so they tried to do that show. The show got canceled. But anyway, so going back to this film, the movie starts out with the rules. It's a very quirky black comedy with zombies, and having seen it in IMAX, IMAX can make any movie very good, I think.
I've only seen one IMAX.
What did you see?
I saw Prometheus, and it was 3D, and that's the only 3D IMAX I've ever seen, and it was actually awesome.
Yeah, no, I think 3D is good for big IMAX screens because
I don't go for the whole 3D thing.
Yeah, remember we
really
had a
cool.
disastrous experience with Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yeah, I remember
3D
that.
Glasses and everything was red and gray.
It was terrible.
And I was like, what the hell is this? And we just decided to leave the movie. Anyway, so I saw this in IMAX. The only other film I think I saw in IMAX was, what the hell was it called? It was, what was that James Cameron outer space movie with the blue people and stuff like that?
Oh,
Avatar.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Avatar. I saw it in regular 3D and I was like, this sucks. And then I was like, it's all right. And then I saw it in IMAX and I was like, this is incredible. Anyway, so
cool.
This movie is a quirky horror comedy. It's not straight up horror, but it has gore. It's basically the funny version of The Walking Dead, if you could say so. I don't know if Walking Dead...
Well, they run in this.
Yeah, Walking
Dead's like a Romero.
You think Walking Dead had started around this time? Same time? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure.
Nah.
Walking Dead's been on for 10 seasons, right? Yeah, okay, right. So anyway, it's a quirky sort of melodrama. It's all these four characters. And it does have an incredible opening sequence that's in slow motion, really. And what I liked about it a lot was that it was just different scenarios via, done to Metallica's, not Fade to Black, what the hell is it?
Till the Bell Tolls?
For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah.
And it's just different scenarios of this guy in a cheap tuxedo shooting a semi-automatic. There's a bride attacking a groom. It's really well done. I would almost say it's even better than the movie itself, just because I could literally watch.
I could watch it.
Yeah,
I could watch that sort of thing for a half an hour.
Just because it was so done well to the song. It's just an hour and a half of that happening. Anyway, so it comes into the movie, and the movie is basically about what, Danny?
It is about a very nervous boy who's a loner teaming up with a very angry man who's also a loner and finding happiness in family.
Did you have any issues with Jesse Eisenberg before this film or after this film?
I didn't really know him. I guess I thought of him as kind of like a ripoff of that guy that's from...
Woody Allen? No.
No,
a young Woody Allen.
George Michael from Arrested Development. Yeah, I guess I saw him as some kind of alternate version of Michael Cera.
Yeah, they always got mixed up with each other. I saw them both as sort of annoying.
I mean, they have the same basic idea of a neurotic loser.
But so Jesse Eisenberg and Michael Cera get
I would say
Jesse
Eisenberg and them are the same sort of neurotic loser guy.
Right.
But now you can see the difference. And I've seen Jesse Eisenberg and others. He was in this weird movie I saw where he's a secret weapon for the CIA or something.
You actually saw that movie?
I did see that.
Somebody
convinced me to go, and I saw it, and it was weird because he's got long hair and he's a stoner guy, but then he's also and it was just hard to take it seriously. I know he's supposed to be really good in that Facebook movie.
And did you believe that Kristen Stewart really wanted to fuck him in the movie? Was that believable?
I mean, if he's the only guy in the world, basically, sure.
In that movie, not in Zombieland, but yeah, it was funny because everybody in this film...
Oh, in that movie, Kirsten... Honestly, I would be surprised if he'd want to fuck her. She's so weird to me.
Really? But anyway, so apparently she still likes guys as well, so... I don't know. There's nothing.
Well, good for her, but I don't like her, and I'm sure that doesn't matter to her because she's a superstar. Whatever.
Well, if you've seen Charlie's Angels, I guess since nobody else did, I don't really guess that is the case.
Is she in that?
Yes, exactly. And it's so funny because every star in this film basically got really, except for Abigail Breslin, really, she sort of peaked.
She was from the
Little Miss
Sunshine one, right?
It's a very fun indie film, very nice.
I like that movie.
Boy, and that is as indie as it can get. It's very. It has Paul Dano. Once it has Paul Dano in it, it's an independent film.
I don't know who Paul Dano is.
He was the kid with the colorblind. He's like a really good actor. Okay. He's like the third version. He's like the mutation of Jesse Eisenberg and the other guy that we were just talking about. Michael Cera. But he's a very good actor. And anyway, so Abigail Breslin was also in this movie called The Final Girl, which is a really, really good movie for what it was. It's, to spoil it, is basically this girl who is basically a final girl of a horror film. But I can't spoil it. But it's actually worth watching.
Is it a horror movie?
It's hard to explain because it's two different genres mixing together, and you're thinking it's one genre and it turns into something else. It's really interesting film. Anyway, so yeah, Abigail Breslin was from that, and then Woody Harrelson, I believe, went to do True Detective after that.
Yeah, that was after
this, I believe. Elevated him even more so than before with Matthew McConaughey. And Matthew McConaughey obviously got his career back because of that. Then he promptly fucked it up again by doing car ads and shit. Oh, I wouldn't even say that Dark Tower was a fucking movie.
Dark Tower was his low point.
Yeah, and Jesse Eisenberg did The Social Network a year after this, and that is an incredible fucking movie. I would never
stomach the idea of watching it.
No, it's great. I don't give a shit about Facebook. I'm not
the soundtrack is amazing.
It's worthwhile. If you like Zodiac, then you'll like that movie. The Social Network. It's the same fucking director. He knows how to direct. David Fincher.
What's his face?
David Fincher. And then also obviously Emma. What the hell's her name?
Emma Stone. Emma
Stone. Who she went on to have a very good career. She was in La La Land. I think that was a modern musical, and she won the Oscar for Best Actress for that. And then she was also in The Favorite, which is a very good period drama. I don't run to go see period dramas, believe me, about Queens and shit.
It's about periods?
It could be. Yeah, I guess it is possible.
The punctuation. I'm talking about the punctuation.
Yeah, there was a lot of frottage happening in that. But and she's topless in that movie. She decided to be topless in the movie. Good for her.
I would not see it for that because I respect her too much.
I know, it's disgusting. How dare she? She has no religion. Anyway, so these four characters bash into each other. Since Danny picked this film, he can explain a lot more. So what happened?
Yeah. So
what happened?
Columbus is Jesse Eisenberg because they're all named after where they're
right. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tallahassee's Woody Harrelson. They meet up. And then they get robbed by Wichita and her sister Little Rock. Why is she called Little Rock again? I don't remember.
Arkansas? But she's from. I assume she's from Arkansas.
Well, I mean, they're sisters. So anyway, those two are con artist people who scam them out of a car, and but then they end up meeting up again and becoming friends. It's very nice. It's a very nice movie. My favorite scene of this is definitely the Bill Murray scene. I mean, obviously, I guess. It's probably been overhyped, honestly, but it is one of the best scenes in a movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, this movie's on Netflix. Surprisingly, I didn't think it was going to be on there, and I think I was the only one.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's so funny how long, because obviously it's been 10 years since the first one, and the sequel just came out.
I still haven't seen it.
2 months ago. And it was all right. It was
what? Movies cost fucking $20 where I live.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They're pretty bad.
There's no matinees. It's just sucks.
If you go to AMC's and if you're in New York City, I think
I gotta commute into Manhattan. Fuck that.
Yeah, I guess it's a nationwide thing. If AMC has matinees, but I'm sure theaters in other countries they actually have matinees. They're not cheap fucks like here. But the movie's actually on Netflix, and I saw the sequel. It was all right. It sort of was very much the same. Do you know what I mean? It was very similar. There's not real new ground because you're there to sort of just see what the characters do. Zombieland is not about the zombies, although to a point it is, obviously, at the end. Every zombie movie ends the same. Characters run away from zombies and they get safe, and then something happens where more zombies come in, they break in. The zombies always break in.
Sometimes the characters all die.
I've never seen a zombie movie where the zombies don't break in at the end. They've all been the same. It's never been... I mean that's I guess the natural. Night of
the Living Dead. They get shot and rounded up, and you realize the people are worse than the zombies.
Well, somebody breaks in at the end. Anyway, So the second one was okay. It was more of the same, and it was fine.
Yeah, but I don't think you're a big fan of this.
No, I liked it. I thought it was okay. It's just that I had seen the first one. I wasn't going crazy for it, but it was good. It was entertaining.
I mean, it's not like This is not like a horror movie.
No,
it is a horror movie, but it's like...
No, you know me. I don't give if the horror movie is secondary and it has a interesting thing that
This is more like a feel good, cuddly, like romantic comedy or something to me.
It's interesting that Amber Heard plays a raving maniac zombie, and then she would.
Is she the neighbor? Is she the neighbor 405 or whatever?
Yeah, and then she 405 could be, and then she ends up marrying Johnny Depp. So she says that he kicked her ass. So who knows what happens?
Is that? I wonder. Yeah, I heard about that a little bit.
So Jesse Eisenberg character meets. How would you describe Woody Harrelson's character?
He's very like a badass, dick kind of funny guy, but.
No, he's very
he's so lovable. He's always lovable. Even as Mickey, he's lovable.
Yeah, he's not I actually didn't like those characters. I wanted them to get killed very badly. But it's weird.
Well, they're sociopaths.
That's good.
It's great.
But yeah, he's not a hateable because there's a lot of characters that you can be like, oh, he's a dick. I don't like him. But he's actually he's sort of like a likable hick. Do you know what I mean? Like just an asshole. And I'm actually looking at it right now while it's on Netflix, and I realize how young. Obviously, this is 10 years ago. Jesse Eisenberg looks the same. Woody Harrelson looks the same. Emma Stone looks like a child. Abigail Breslin looks like a child.
Well, Abigail Breslin was like 14.
Yeah, she looks like herself as now, but just taller in the sequel. And Emma Stone looks like an actual adult woman in the new one.
She's 23 right now, so she was 13.
She's only 23? She's not only 23, is she?
I'm looking at her thing right now.
Fuck, am I old? I am an old fuck. Anyway.
Me too, dude.
This is horrible. Get us off this planet. So, what did you like? Whose character interactions did you enjoy the most in this film?
I like Woody Harrelson and Little Rock, actually.
Really? It's the father.
Yeah, because it's just... Yeah, because he, doesn't like her at first, and he's teaching her about, I don't know, you could just tell he, finds her to be a big pain in the ass, and she's, a bit of an asshole, but then they become friends, kind of.
Yeah, that's a gigantic focus on the second one. It's like a father-daughter thing. But the premise is it's not a spoiler, the premise is she's sick of it and just leaves all of them. And that's the movie. That's where they try to find her. So I guess
I had no idea.
So that's that sort of thing. So this is a film not about zombies, really. It's mostly about these characters. It's almost like you're watching... I don't know.
I'd be having fun like them too. What the hell else are you gonna do?
Because they have the zombie kills of the year or whatever.
I love that scene when the old lady drops a fucking piano or I forget exactly what it is, but she drops something out of a window on one of them.
Yeah. It was a grand piano, I think. It's funny because this is one of those films it's not afraid to have graphics pop up with words. Just on screen where it's like
a video game.
Yeah. Like Zombie Kill. There you go. It's called Zombie Kill of the Week. I'm actually looking at that scene right now where the lady goes into the school and drops a piano on the head. But it's not afraid of doing that, and it's not afraid of having voiceovers, and it doesn't feel corny because you're watching this film. It's not like that dreaded movie we saw called The Devil's Chair. Do you know where?
God, don't even compare it. It's incomparable.
Where the guy will try to talk and he's trying to make it cool. This movie knows it's winking at you.
What's the guy's name? He's like, John, don't go in there. It's suicide.
Whoever's listening to this episode.
If anybody wants to see rip-off Guy Ritchie, really bad movie, watch Devil's Chair.
And it really has, I'm not kidding. That movie is trying to be super serious.
It's terrible.
And they're trying to find reasons for people to sit in a demon chair. The chair looks like it's covered in blood and shit, and it finds ways.
You know what? I will give it this though. They had a really cool horse monster with flies around it at one point. I don't even remember
that shit. Anyway,
there was a cool monster.
That's one of our older episodes. Go listen to The Devil's Chair. Watch the movie. It's horrible.
Don't watch it.
So what's the
Just
big cameo?
What's
this big cameo in the film that you think? Because
it has
the world's gift to comedy in this movie. Apparently,
this is honestly, I would do the same thing if I was Tallahassee. So they decide to go to Beverly Hills to find a place to stay, and they go to Bill Murray's house, and then Bill Murray's actually there. It's amazing, and they smoke pot with him and watch Ghostbusters, and there's so much great dialogue in that scene when Jesse Eisenberg's trying to show her Ghostbusters for the first time, and he's like, it's saying like who are you gonna call, and he's like, you're about to find out, like, or whatever the fuck he says. Like,
it's funny. Like Bill Murray's funny in that scene. I was actually, for some reason, I was thinking about him today when I thought of the movie Ed Wood. Funny enough, I haven't seen that full movie. I've seen parts of it, which is a shame because I should see that movie.
We should review Plan 9.
Oh my god, why would we do that? You know
that's the original
they made
like
a remake
movie.
Of it.
Really?
It's just it just looks stupid. But anyway, and it's free on YouTube, so you know. Anything.
I remember I saw that. I got a VHS box set, and it came in a pink furry box. Like the box was like pink and fluffy, and it had Glenn or Glenda.
So it was
Plan
like a
9 and
of all
like
his works then.
Yeah, but I'll never forget the box.
Glenn
it was like fuzzy.
Did you watch any of his stuff? Or?
I years ago I watched Glenn and Glenda. I think there was another one, but I didn't watch it. But I've watched Plan 9 like twice.
Okay.
It's a terrible movie. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, I know. I saw parts of it. It's pretty bad. But yeah, so it has Bill Murray scene. That's the thing that everybody talked about. And if you watch the sequel, you'd be pleasantly surprised as well because there's stuff going on.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, it has Dan Aykroyd. No, it doesn't have Dan Aykroyd. But so Jesse Eisenberg has a culturophobia, which is a fear of clowns, and that plays well into this film at the very end. And the movie is about, at the very end, he has to save his friends. And at this big, the name Zombieland makes sense towards the end of the film because they're at a theme park, which is run over by zombies. So it's basically, instead of Playland or Busch Gardens or whatever, it's a Zombieland at the end. And it's a big, huge set piece. And there's actually, I love that that one set piece with that. I don't know what kind of ride that is called. You know, the one where people are in a circle, and this like pulley like moves them around in a circle. It looks fucking horrifying. And you're basically it's like a tilt-a-whirl or whatever it's fucking called. And there's like a bunch of kills with that and stuff. It's really
yeah. That's when Woody Harrelson's on there, like killing them and shit.
And you're literally thinking, how the fuck are they going to get out of this? But, it's a comedy
I mean,
movie.
they're going to get out of it because it's a feel-good movie.
You never know. Like, I would think that some characters die. You've obviously seen Shaun of the Dead. Some characters died in that film. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then he comes back at the end and they're playing video games.
Yeah, that was depressing.
And he, like, trained them as, like,
honestly, I find that one of the most saddest endings for a movie I've ever seen. I really do. I was very sad at the end of that movie that he's there. His friend is fucking a zombie. He can't think straight. He's a good zombie. He's chained up. Put him out of his fucking misery. It's horrible. I felt so sad looking at the ending of that movie. That's the only thing that I'd say fucked up the movie, that they let him.
I love that movie.
I love
that's
that.
A great one
to me, that's probably one of my favorite zombie. That might be my.
I mean, that and this movie are like the same. This movie and that movie are like the same thing, basically.
Yeah, like to me,
I think horror
movies.
They're just like feel good movies.
The thing is, I think I lean towards comedy zombie movies because I've only seen so many zombie movies that I don't.
All zombie movies are comedies when you get.
Yeah, but I mean, Shaun of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead. Like Return of the Living Dead isn't an outright comedy, but it's a very funny movie.
No, it's an outright comedy.
You think so?
It is. Yeah, the stuff that happens in there, it's absurd.
Right.
It's absurd.
But I think like Return of the Living Dead and Shaun of the Dead are like the two top zombie movies from. I know people will be like, well, what about Night of the Living Dead? What about such and such?
I love all those too,
but
as far as comedies go, like definitely.
Just in zombie movies in general, I love those two more. But this film, I think it has proper gore in it. I think the violence is really well made. I think the acting, the character interactions feel realistic. It does have that sort of too smart for the room dialogue, but it is a snarky movie. And Woody Harrelson is obviously the best in the film, and Jesse Eisenberg is really good. So I think that this film actually it has a lot of really stellar elements to it, and I'm interested to know what you think about the sequel when you eventually. I'm sure you're going to see it soon.
Yeah, I really meant to, but I've been so busy and it's so expensive.
And it didn't make the box office that the first one did. Its time sort of has passed, which strangely enough, because these four are pretty A+. They became A+ after the first film. And I'm sure, putting them four together again, she's like, there's an Oscar winner, Oscar nominee. I don't know if Woody Harrelson Woody Harrelson definitely deserves fucking, stuff.
Woody Harrelson's amazing.
Right, he is. Overall, and Abigail Breslin is very good too. She's all right in the sequel. She's hardly in the movie, honestly. Well, she whatever. Anyway, but for some reason it didn't work out sequel wise. So that's one of those things where they wait 10 years for a sequel and then nobody really gives a fuck about it. You know what I mean? So whatever. So this one, I guess that's my review in advance before we review it. But I enjoyed this. It's a small movie that is contained in a larger movie. Contained in a larger movie.
Ooh.
It's funny. It's very snarky. It's sly. Were there any things that didn't work for you with this movie?
No, it's a really good movie. I can't think of any complaints.
So no Jesse Eisenberg complaints.
I mean, he's fine. You know, he's exactly what he needs to be in this movie.
Yeah, but going back to Jesse Eisenberg and who's the other guy again?
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera, like, I could not stand Michael Cera. I liked him in Arrested Development, but then
he's great in Arrested Development.
And did you ever see Scott?
Twin Peaks.
Did you ever see Scott? Oh my! Don't even bring that up. In Scott Pilgrim versus the World, did you ever see that movie?
I still haven't seen it.
He is great in that movie. That's the one movie where it should have turned him for people. Like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Because he's very good in that movie. Great movie, one of the best movies, and
terrific, the best.
I was gonna do that. I really was.
It's the best movie.
It's the best. You wouldn't believe this movie. But anyway,
everybody says it's the best movie.
So Sarah's movie, Eisenberg's movie is this, and the other one was The Social Network. But he's been in a lot of indie dramas. He's like a serious actor. There's a great interview online that he's doing. I forget for which movie he was doing. It might have been one of the Magician.
I think I like Michael Cera better, but he is good in this.
But Jesse, so when I saw Social Network, he's just really good, Jesse Eisenberg. And I didn't even hate him as Lex Luthor. I think he was a very strange choice for Lex Luthor, but whatever. But there was an interview you can see online where there's there's like this very hot reporter, and she's trying to she's interviewing him. But he's just being a complete dickhead to her. It's so fucking funny.
What do you mean, like a dick?
I don't know. Maybe Jesse Eisenberg is one of those type of guys that like women treated him like shit when he was younger, and then when he got famous, then they all kiss his ass, and he's like, "Yeah, I know." You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Because this girl was trying to do that. Like she's trying to like be stupid and interview like, et cetera, as that, and you just see he's like cutting through her like a hammer, like. He's just not giving a flying fuck. He's just being super sarcastic, and it's just like the funniest fucking video. Anyway, I think everything pretty much worked for the movie. I didn't feel any lapse in the film at all. I thought it all worked.
What's your rating?
I would give this a solid 7 out of 10.
7?
What do you want me to do? Huh? I'll give it a 7.5. No, 7 out of 10. No, it's a 7. It's a 7 out of 10. I'm thinking about it 10 years later. What do you want me to do? When it was back then, I would have said it's an 8. Now it's a 7. It's a 7 out of 10. Being assaulted by Johnny Depp's future ex-wife in a bathroom stall. No, 7 out of 10. Getting some prime.
How she turned the tables.
Getting some prime Emma Stone. Oh God, that's bad. 7 out of 10. Being in a car with Woody Harrelson and he's not kissing you like Mallory Knox. That was her name?
Really, these just keep getting better and better. Yes, Mallory.
Okay. Knox. Is her last name Knox? Or am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh man, that's good.
Hunting for Twinkies for like in the apocalypse, and then you finally find them, and you're really happy.
Yeah, that was remember Twinkies? Wasn't there supposed to thing where Twinkies went out of business later on after this movie? Like, I think Twinkies actually went out of business. They brought it back.
Twinkies go out of business?
Yeah, Twinkies went away for like a year or something, like because I think Hostess had money problems because Hostess was like, well, we're not doing Twinkies anymore, and there was a whole big thing in the news about no Twinkies.
Wow.
And then, like, I guess the movie came true. I don't know whether this is before
even that or Ghostbusters talks about Twinkies.
Do they? Yeah, people love Twinkies. Like, Twinkies are all right with me, but
I don't care about Twinkies.
I don't really
personally.
I haven't had one. Like, I've only had one like once every like 6 years or something. You know, it's not something I'm really into. Not that I give a shit. The idea is fine. You know, they used to be filmed with banana cream originally. That's
the idea of Twinkies is fine with you?
No, just eating them. You know, like I don't care about them. Like I don't care about the yodels. I don't think I've ever had a yodel.
You know what? I love Devil Dogs.
Is that the one where they're black with white cream in them? Right? They're basically
yeah.
Twinkies.
Oh,
What's the
so
other
good.
one that they have? The black, it's like cupcake but with white cream.
There's
in it?
one that has horrible
Peanut butter. Is that chocolate
coconuts on it. It's so gross.
Ooh. Snowballs. That's it. Right.
Snowballs are gross.
Ugh. I don't know.
I hate coconut.
I'm just mad. Yeah, I can't get Entenmann's pies anymore. You don't see those shits anywhere in New York City. Scumbag bastards. Anyway,
I used to know somebody who worked for Little Debbie's.
Was he a fat fuck?
No, he worked for them, but he used to get like boxes of the shit and give them to me as I was a kid.
Oh man, and you stopped being friends with him?
No, it was just like a family friend, and like every time I would see him, like he'd have like a box of fucking Little Debbie's for me.
I am wondering. Let me just say, there used to be this guy. I know before we're gonna end this episode now, but there used to be this annoying fucking comedian, Rich Little. You remember Rich Little?
No.
At all, he was very before our time. He was like a 60s, 50s, 60s and 70s comedian, and he just did impersonations of people like Richard Nixon. So that shows you what era he was in. And he used to, I guess he used to host Little Debbie's commercials, and it's like something that sticks with you from childhood, something that doesn't matter to you, but you remember it, like you have Tourette's or something. And he used to go, Little Debbie's treats, they're so delicious, and that's how I remember. Anyway, great episode, huh?
Great.
With that, Danny.
Great.
What's the final word?
Rich, big.